Welcome back. This is Adina Suciu, a Master Black Belt here at SixSigmaTV.net. And today I'd like to offer you an overview on organizational sustainability and innovation. Organizational sustainability is an important component in today's business environment. Independent of the sector, any organization that works in profit, non-profit, government, education, healthcare, there is a high need for surviving and increased agility in this competitive environment. But sustainability means different things to different people. To establish a base, what we mean by sustainability here, we define it in 3 dimensions. The first dimension is the organizational sustainability from the business operations point of view, meaning strategic planning, succession planning, people engagement, knowledge management. And again, we are talking about any type of organization, any type of business, profit, non-profit, government, education, or healthcare. The second dimension we will consider sustainability is in relationship with the environment. It's what most people think in terms of green efforts. And the third dimension is the relationship of the organization with the society in general, and in particular with the communities that are touched by that particular business, by that particular organization. And the way we go about showing you this overview on sustainability on these dimensions is through a series of questions and answers. And the base of this overview is the Baldrige criteria for performance excellence. So here we go. We will just go through all these questions and answers. One of the first questions we should ask in relationship with organizational sustainability is if your core competencies are challenging for the competitors, and if the relationships you have with the suppliers and partners are providing you with a sustainable competitive advantage. And the answer to this would be, what are the processes you have in place to identify the core competencies that will position your organization in a sustainable competitive advantage? And then the next step here is, how do you implement the knowledge management strategy to sustain and improve the core competencies, including innovation deployment? Another question would be, what is the role of your suppliers and partners and any other collaborators in your organizational innovation processes? In other words, do you involve your partners and suppliers when it comes to innovation? And the answer would be, what are the processes and how do you deploy the best practices in your processes to really have end-to-end processes, including all suppliers and partners? And how do you incorporate innovation as part of the normal business, as part of the normal execution of these processes? Another question. Do you know, you as in an organization, what are the key changes that are currently taking place that might affect your competitive situation? What are the changes going on in your field? And also, by knowing this, are you aware of opportunities for innovation and collaboration? Do you have processes that would be able to manage and monitor the changes? Okay, so the answer to this would be, what is the process of identifying and then deploying the monitoring of these changes, the changes related to your competitive situation? Do you have a framework, or do you intend to have a framework to prioritize the process improvement changes in such a way that the innovation is part of all this effort? And the other very important component, do you have processes in place to foster people development so that the workforce is well trained and highly competitive? Another question related to organizational sustainability and innovation. Does your organization have a system, a quality system in place, an approach for process improvement? Do you have any deployment along the lines of a Lean Six Sigma system, a Six Sigma methodology, ISO 9000, or any other quality system in place? Do you have a framework of innovation? And the answer to this would be assess what are the quality related systems or systems that you already have in place, enhance them so that you make sure that they are fully aligned with your strategic objectives, so that also innovation is part of these efforts. An example would be, as a excellent framework to have in place is, or guide you in these efforts, to have the Baldrige criteria for performance excellence to create a learning organization. Another question: how do senior leaders create a sustainable organization? Is this awareness in place in your organization? And the way a possible answer would be, is there a strategic planning in place that aligns the mission, key customers, stakeholders' requirements, and core competencies? Do you have a strategic planning process in place that is assuring this alignment and at the same time is fostering innovation as part of the culture? Another question would be, do you recognize the possible adverse impacts that your business might have on society? You know, by providing your services or products, is there an awareness or a process to assess what might be the possible impacts? How do you anticipate public concerns with current services or future services and products, or the way you do operations? Is there something that you have in place to prepare and be proactive with these possible concerns? How do you conserve natural resources? How do you do your business so that the environment is protected, so that your business is holistically integrated in the environment? And this including the whole supply chain management, your suppliers and your collaborators. And the answer would be, how is the assessment of your supply chain management processes in place so that it's assuring the effectiveness of serving natural resources? What are the key processes in place to assure compliance with all the environmental requirements or the possible regulatory requirements that you might have in place, including the legal ones? What are the processes in place to avoid the risks associated with your product and services? Another question is, how is your organization actively supporting and helps strengthen the key communities that are touched by your business? And the answer would be, do you have processes in place to even assess and to raise awareness of the impact on your communities in the way you do business or the way you do what you do? How do you assess, and what is the areas of the organizational involvement with these communities? And are there specific core competencies that you need to develop so that all these monitoring processes are well established? Another question would be, how do you ensure that the overall plans that you have on tactical level to support your strategy maintain this holistic alignment so that you go on the path of assuring your mission, vision, and values, working towards your strategic plans, and at the same time, the way you do business is reinforcing people development, knowledge management, lower impact on environment, and strengthening of the communities. Do you have these processes in place? Do you have the right measurements in place? And I think we'll stop here. This is a high-level overview of sustainability and innovation. And if you look at the answers, we try to suggest ways of answering the questions. And these are actually ways that we could help you in answering, or the need that you might have in putting in place these processes to assure organizational sustainability and innovation. Thank you for your attention, and please come back and watch us next time. Bye.